right, everybody. We're back in the saddle here, and I got next to me retired Green Beret Mark Boyer with me. This guy is awesome. After 30 years of service and traveling the world, Mark is with us to discuss the things you need, the nice things to have, and the security you must maintain when traveling abroad. All bases will be covered. This is a must-listen-to interview for all who travel or plan to. So with that, Mark, welcome back to the show, buddy.
Well, thank you very much, and it's great timing because we got some big holidays coming up, and a lot of people are really interested in traveling. They're going to be going overseas, and even if you're not going overseas, there's a lot of things to consider just right here at home. If you're going to Florida, New York City, everybody loves New York City, including the bad guys out there that want to do you harm.
I want to make a comment from that. You came over to the house and was helping my son out, Dylan, because he's planning on going to France. And I know you know your stuff, but the way you are so organized, so thorough, that every I is dotted, every T is crossed, it's impressive, dude. It's impressive to the point of sexy, okay? So what we're going to do, everybody, he's going to give you a basic outline of what's going on what to do to prepare for traveling. And I don't know how you want to do it. I'm going to kind of shut up. I know it, but I don't know how to explain it. And there's a lot of stuff I don't know. I had no clue about. And you're just like, whoa. So talk to us.
Well, Matt, after I retired, I started working for several high-end companies and some very key position people. They wanted to do a lot of travel. They wanted to do a lot of business overseas. And so I've been doing this now for almost 10 years. And it's becoming second nature to me. So I've got a checklist. The first thing that I always like to think about is, first, I need to relax. I need to go with an open mind and just do my research. And if everybody does that, then it'll be a better trip for everyone. It'll be safe. And the trips are either for business or for pleasure, to visit family, visit sites, traveling, living out those dreams. But everybody usually focuses on just the event itself. And then when they get there, they freak out a little bit because they don't really know. So if they do their research ahead of time and they do their proper planning, then having that confidence and knowing that you've done your homework, you're going to be able to go over there and just really enjoy yourself no matter where you're going.
I want to make a comment too. I mean, you're not just talking about the civilian aspect of it. For all you military personnel out there or contractors, maybe your first time going overseas to do your duties or whatever, you need, this isn't, oh, this is cool. You need to contact this man and set it up. He will get you squared away. So either or, for pleasure or for business, whether it's a trip to the beaches of France, or you're doing some other type of beach work in a sandbox called, I don't know, Afghanistan, Iraq,
Congo,
whatever, okay? You need to talk to this man, so go ahead.
Okay, that's great. And if anybody does want to plan a trip, or if there's any business people out there wanting to do business in a third world country, then contact Matt at his or at the gun shop, aaronsguns.com.
aaronsgunshop.com, or give us a call at 254-697-4721, but we'll link you up with Mark and we'll set you up too if people want to contact you.
Well, you betcha. You betcha. And again, for contractors especially, doing some research, I found out that the State Department actually listed 25 countries that are the most dangerous in the world for American tourists. And I've operated and planned operations in about 20 of them, actually. And recently just got back from Chad, Nigeria, and Niger, and before that the Congo. So I'm pretty familiar with Africa, but also Europe. But when I do this, I like to do my homework. And being a former military guy and contractors, when you're doing your organizational skills, a lot of us are very used to the term shoot, move, and communicate. And it doesn't necessarily have to be a military term, but when I consider shooting, I'm thinking about what is going to keep me safe. And so it's going to be self-preservation, things like medicine, making sure I'm healthy, make sure the other country has health facilities that I might need. Moving is the actual flow of booking your airplane tickets. What kind of tickets do you want? Do you want to travel by ship? Do you want to travel by bus, by train? And then also communications is very key because you want to know people. You want to network, you want to be able to call home if necessary, different things like that. So using shoot, move, and communicate, I've broke down an outline, and I'm just going to hit on some high points on that.
Hey, Mark, I want to interrupt you 1 second
Yeah.
because I want everybody to understand this here. And correct me if I'm wrong. I mean, I know you provide services to people, and if they contact you, for a fee, you'll take care of them. But what we're talking about with a travel agent, and I always use this analogy: you got a sidewalk with the big slabs of concrete. Travel agents are slabs of concrete, but in between those slabs of concrete, there's cracks, and that's where all the information is. You're the crack in the sidewalk. Okay?
Yeah.
So, ladies and gentlemen, when you go get your ticket from the travel agent and they book all your flights and all this stuff, this is the guy you need to talk to for all the information in the cracks. So, I know you provide the service. We'll probably talk about that in a little bit and how they can contact you and all that, and we'll do it. But I just wanted to get that out there.
Well, travel agents are a very key part. It's great. They usually have a network of people that can help streamline everything. But again, they're also in the market of selling the product. And they're not going to tell you necessarily all the bad things or the bad history or the bad reviews. They're out there to sell a product. And I use them all the time, but I use them as a reference point. I do all the homework myself. So that's a very good touch. It's very good. And another key point is that travel should be fun, and it can be if you remove all the doubt and if you travel with confidence. And we can maximize our safety and security and sanity by minimizing the risk and the liability. And that all comes from doing your homework. When you do your homework, first you got to assess the situation and figure out the country that you're going to be going to. Or if you're going to be going to New York or California, Las Vegas, you need to actually go on YouTube, go to TripAdvisor, go to Expedia.com and start looking at some of the reviews, some of the things to do. Don't look just at the first 5. Go to the bottom of the list and figure out what's really wrong. Look at some of the bad reviews, but look at the current reviews. Don't look at some of the other ones. Always check your dates when you're looking at reviews. And then just start planning on having fun. And shooting or safekeeping in our planning phase. I have like a whiteboard. I love whiteboards. So I've got a big whiteboard that says our safekeeping or shooting. We need to be sure that we're physically able to actually make the trip. If you're feeling sick, it might be good to just postpone it. Push it back a little while until you're feeling good enough to actually enjoy it. Do you have your medications ready? Do you have a prescription med that's about ready to go out? So you want to be sure that you stock up on that. And if you have a limited supply or you think you might need some overseas, go to that location, go on YouTube or Google Earth, go down to the street view. Look around, because as Dylan's going over to his location, I've already located a pharmacy across the street from the front door of his hotel.
Do you pause for a second?
Yes, sir, I've paused.
I got to make a comment. Ladies and gentlemen, he's taking care of my son Dylan when it comes to planning. And Dylan and I are reading his email to us, and we're standing there with our eyes closed, imagining him telling us where we're standing, looking to the right, approximately 25 meters is this. Looking to the left, approximately 15 meters is that. Around the corner is this in case you need it. Probably a good place to go, good contacts. He has given such detailed information. It's as though when you walk out the door at that location, you've already been there, which makes you look less vulnerable. I think it's fantastic. And he can do this for you too. I mean, he can set you up, you give us packets, you can set people up with packets. It's almost as though they've been there.
Well, thanks for that. It's just curiosity and interest. And if you can check into a hotel at midnight, get up at 6 in the morning and know that there's a cafe right down the street that caters to your needs. Like in this case, there's an an American cafe 50 meters to the left of his hotel as he walks out. Yeah, it's just really good, and it's fun to do your research. Going back to medications, though, travel with a first aid kit. And in that first aid kit, we're not talking just Band-Aids and penicillin. We're talking about maybe medicine for anti-inflammatories, diarrhea, anti-diarrhea, cold medicine. Because as you travel overseas or on the airplane, you're liable to catch a cold, and you don't want to go look at the Louvre Museum with a head cold, sneezing and puking everywhere.
That's right.
So some of these things, eye drops. If you're going to a desert type environment, your eyes are going to get dried out. And that means they're going to be even more accessible to pink eye and some other problems. So take care of your eyes. And also always remember the sunblock. I've had several skin cancers cut out because of the sun exposure in the desert in the Sahara in Africa. So wear sunblock, people, and wear a very large rimmed hat.
If you're in a vicinity of North Korea, maybe the highest sunblock you can get. 3 million sunblock in case you have nuclear explosions.
Also, we'll touch into this later, but anti-malaria medicine and maybe a mosquito net would be helpful for that. Safekeeping also covers your facilities that are available and locations at your destinations. Key example on that is pharmacies and hospitals in your area. You can find that out on Google Earth, thank God. And you can actually figure out the travel distances to those locations. But also when you check into your hotel, or if you call your hotel in advance, you can ask them if there's a hotel doctor available. And also what is response time for emergency medical personnel. That played key in Senegal, in Dakar. We had somebody who had an allergic reaction. The in-house doctor alerted his staff, and they were evac to a hospital within 15 minutes. It's because we had prior coordination with that doctor before we even landed on the ground. He knew exactly what we had to have. Allergies, outbreaks, and medical travel restrictions, such as Ebola, yellow fever, and meningitis. Now, in Niger, Senegal, Liberia, we faced all of those issues. And you just have to be smart. Go to the U.S. State Department or the Central for Disease Control and Prevention. You can go to their websites and look at their alerts and see what is actually required for you to travel, such as immunizations and your yellow fever shot. But you can also see the epidemic outbreaks that are taking place in that area at that time. Hepatitis C is coming on the rise in a lot of places, hepatitis B, and especially in Africa and parts of Middle East. Those are things that you have to be aware of and prepare for that. Rabies and hantavirus. Those are things that you can prepare for in advance. You can take medicine for those things, and you can also learn to avoid those areas that are in question. Again, check the U.S. State Department and enroll in their Smart Traveler Enrollment Program. A lot of the contractors know this as the STEP or the STEP program. And what happens is if you go to their website, U.S. State Department, and under their travelers page, you'll find the STEP. What you do is you enroll in that. You notify them that you're traveling to a certain country for such and such a time. You're going to be staying at such and such a location. And as in Uganda, as in Nigeria, Niger, France, Germany, especially Belgium recently, whenever there's a riot, a demonstration planned, or an emergency situation, they will notify you on your phone or through an email as to certain locations to avoid. And if necessary, you have to be evacuated out of that country, they can contact you and tell you that they'll have the Marine recovery team at your front door in 30 minutes. And there are certain things that they will help you with, including embassy or access to the embassy. If your visa is expired, if you're sick in a hospital and your visa is about to run out, then you can contact them. They will send a representative to you with proper coordination, and you can get an extension if necessary. But you have to do the groundwork, and you have to research all these options, because if you don't do this, they're not going to know that you're in country. Proper clothing. A lot of people will want to go on a safari into Africa, or they'll want to perhaps go into Europe. They see it's summertime, they think they're going to get by with just nice light clothes, but they forget about the night chill and the altitude. So do your research, dress accordingly for the environment that you're going in. Weapons. A lot of people, you and I especially, when we travel, we love to have weapons with us. But avoid the headache. Please, when you travel, for one, here in the States especially, check the reciprocity laws. And make sure that you can travel with guns or without guns. But just don't stop there. Voice of Experience is telling me that you also have to check tasers, pepper spray, sometimes harsh language, depending if you're going to California.
That's right.
So
You're
just
very sensitive about that.
and be smart about that. Recently, I was stopped, and even though I had a machete in the back seat, they said, "Oh, that's legal. You can trim bush with that, but you can't have a taser. No, you can't do that." Your property while traveling. This is part of our safekeeping. If you get on Facebook or social media and you tell all your friends and family you're going on a 7-week or a 7-day cruise to the Bahamas, you're also telling a lot of other people that you're not going to be home for those 7 days, and they're going to bust down your door and they're going to steal all your brownies, okay? So, be careful who you tell that you're going on vacation and when your house is going to be unsecure. If you're going away, hold all your mail, keep it at the post office where it's safe. Tell your neighbors to keep an eye on your house for you for strange activity, people driving up in your driveway. You can set timers in your house to keep the lights on and off. Now you can even do that with your smartphone if you have a good system in your house. You also have remote cameras that you can access on your phone at all times. If you see something suspicious, then you can always call your neighbor and say, "Hey, go check on the back door. I see something going on." Just recently in Temple, we had 2 chuckleheads go up to somebody's house. It was on the news 2 days ago. And they robbed the packages right off the doorstep.
I saw that.
And they were even looking at the mini cam.
Right.
So the technology is out there. Use it if you're going away, but don't advertise it. Wait until you get back and tell all of your friends what a great time you had.
And remember, everybody, this is what you need to do. Mark does this. He can help you. He's the man of experience. Keep going. I just don't want to burn up the time where we don't promote that. And I'll tell you what, if you want to give us a call here, 254-697-6633. If you got a quick question or something or a topic on this traveling segment, feel free to give us a call. Go ahead, Mark. Because I know a lot of people want to travel.
I've only started on the one paragraph. I'll try to streamline this a little bit better.
Well, wait, let's do this. We'll get back to this in a second.
Okay. You
have somebody about to travel, and they go, "Wow, I never thought about all this kind of stuff." They say, "Okay, I contact Mark. He's going to do what for me? Well, he's going to do your brain work. He's going to ask you questions. He's going to think, where are you going? What are you doing? What do you need?" And he's going to basically do what he did for my son, give a great evaluation and a listing of all the things you need to take care of, and you're put at ease. It's almost like, I'm going here, but I got somebody covering my back. Mark's covering your 6 when he's 1,000 miles away or something.
Oh, I can do that.
Right,
when my daughter went on spring break, I had my friends down south of the border cover her, and I called the security guy at the hotel. I made sure that she was being watched. Oh, yeah.
You're a man of many contacts.
I've got a lot invested in that young girl. Okay, talking about moving and travel planning. First off, check that State Department website. A lot of us don't trust the State Department, but they do put out good information. Decide on your base and your central location. If you're going to Las Vegas, focus around one hotel. Use that hotel as or a casino as a base of operations, and then take your trips away from there. But always let somebody know where you're going and when you're going to be back, and who's going with you. If you're going overseas, perhaps to Central African Republic, then you need to have a central base of location, such as in the capital or another country that you can hop in and out of. Europe, there's a lot of good hotels, good travel services that are credentialed. Do your reviews and make sure that you use that as a base of operations and use them as a hub facilitator. Learn the customs and courtesies of that foreign country or that location. Especially like in the Middle East, if you go into Dubai and you're holding hands with your sweetheart and you give her a kiss on the cheek, that's a public display of affection and you can be arrested for that. So be very careful of that. Public drunkenness, you're going to jail for that one. A lot of these countries don't even allow alcohol, so leave the small bottles on the plane. Learn the customs and courtesies of that country. I can't specify that enough. Holidays. When you arrive at that country, make sure that it's not like in a very sensitive holiday that America might have bombed that country at one time and you're landing on that day. That has happened when I went to Greece for my first time. They had just issues from another country, and I'm walking out with a group of people from that country, and I got sucked into that fiasco. That was a terrible mess. Passport. Once you check that State Department website, they're going to tell you what is required for you to travel. Is a visa required? And make sure that your passport is current and it's not going to expire when you're overseas. With that passport comes extra passport photos. You always need to travel with at least 4 extra photos, because once you're in country, as in Chad, you will have to go to a local police department and get a secondary form of identification allowing you in that country for such and such time. Also, if you're getting a foreign driver's license or a driver's permit, then you are also going to have extra passport photos for that one.
That right there to me is like a major, oh wow, that's going to save me time and headache. Just that little tidbit of information right there, you know?
And some of these places will have passport photo booths right across the street. And you're going to be paying about $20 for a 20-cent passport photo that you could have already had with you. And also, that delays everything. That delays the whole process of you having a fun excursion. So be prepared for that. In that passport folder, you also want to have your shot records. You can have shot records printed out on a sheet of paper and make it all pretty. A lot of people would question that, though, because anybody can get on a word processor and do that. However, if you have the small yellow booklet that the health facilities, hospitals, and other agencies will provide you, then you have that stamped, and every international country is used to seeing that one packet. Make sure they're up to date, and make sure that you have all the immunizations required, or they're going to put you back on that plane and send you out of the country. You're going to be stuck at that airport until you can get funds to get on the next plane out. I thought Matt was going to say something there.
No, I'm listening with awe.
Emergency passport copies. Your passport is going to be the most important document that you have with you, and you need to protect that at all times. So, do not have it like in a loose bag. Have it on your person at all times. When you get to the hotel, put it in a hotel safe. Now, that being said, while you're traveling, you want that with you. But if you're leaving the hotel and you're going to go look at a museum in Germany, or if you're going to go on a dinner out someplace, have a black and white photocopy of that passport, either folded or shrunk down to a wallet size, that you can have and it's still legible. That way, if you are stopped at a hotel or a taxi cab, maybe the taxi cab driver takes you to a police station and say you didn't pay the proper amount, which happens quite a bit, so they can get more money out of you. They're going to ask for your identification. A Texas driver's license is great. It's perfect. Everybody respects Texas. But if they ask for your passport, you can hand them a photocopy of it and say that the other passport is locked at your hotel in a secured safe. They should respect that. Also, on that paper copy, you can also superimpose points of contact for emergency contact, your blood type, any allergies that you might have. If you're a diabetic and you possibly go into a diabetic coma, they're going to check your wallet. Some people might even steal the cash out of your wallet. But if you have a document saying, yes, I'm diabetic, or yes, I have seizures, or I have an allergic reaction to something, you have that information with you at that time. A MedAlert bracelet is a great thing. Getting back to travel planning.
Tell you what, Mark.
Yes.
We're running out of time. Here's what I want to do.
Oh, man.
Joel, what I want to do, welcome back, everybody. Aaron's High Cap Adventure Radio program, June 24th, 2017. I'm here speaking with retired Green Beret Mark Boyer, talking about traveling abroad. And we're finishing up on the show here in this segment. Mark, before we go any further, we have tentatively set a date for the 15th of this month, July 15th, as a class for those who want to participate with you on what to do, or maybe hire you to prepare them, so on and so forth. So why don't you give people information on how they can make contact with you, and maybe we'll set this thing up there.
Okay, well, first, if you'd like to call me, my name is Mark Boyer, and my number is area code 254-482-0051. And my email is markboyer935@yahoo.com. I'd be very happy to talk to anybody who wants to travel because I want everyone to travel safely, especially with the upcoming holidays. 4th of July is going to be a big target on Americans' backs overseas. So contact me and we'll coordinate something for the seminar coming up on the 15th.
And I'll be posting details on the seminar prior to the 15th, of course. I'll give all the details, what it takes to participate, so on and so forth. But if you've got something coming up and you want to have Mark's expertise before you travel abroad, if you're not experienced in doing that, this is the man to talk to. Okay, Mark, why don't you got about a minute here. Can you just wrap this up? Give me a summary of everything so people have an idea of the importance of prepping.
Okay, prepping is rehearsing, doing your research. Do your research. Think outside the box. Stay focused on your primary target. You want to have fun. You want to do business. But think outside the box and think what else you can add to it and what you can take away from it. Be safe, and key thing is if it looks wrong, feels wrong, sounds wrong, it probably is wrong. You don't have to do it. Be smart and come back home safe with a lot of fun. Good stories, good times.
You know, everybody wants to have a good time. Everybody doesn't really think about what can potentially happen except for guys like us, right? But that's our duty. Our duty, we're sentinels. We protect those things.
It's what I do, and it's what I enjoy doing. And if anybody wants me to travel with them, I've got all the credentials required for international travel, and I can guarantee you I'll get you home safe.
That's a fantastic offering right there. All right, how much time we got, Joel? Got 1 minute. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to have to wrap it up. Mark, I can't tell you how awesome you are. I've known you for a long time, and I know your credentials, and I know they're to be true, and I'm just like, wow. And I thank you for coming on the show again. But ladies and gentlemen, don't forget, July 1st, that's next Saturday, we'll be on 2 stations. We'll be replaying this show as the premiere show for KRXT 98.5 FM out of Rockdale, starting at 8 o'clock in the morning, and we'll be right here live next Saturday at 10 o'clock with a new show. So check out aaronsgunshop.com, go to the YouTube channel, Aaron's Gun Shop, and like us on Facebook at aaronsgunshop.com. Until then, keep your powder dry, and God bless.